schools closed for the rest of the week.
We have team coverage of the preparations for Hurricane Matthew. News 2's Macy McLeod is standing by live on the Isle of Palms right now. Travis Rice, meanwhile, in North Charleston, taking a look at traffic and what's happening at gas stations around the area.
I was trying to put it on YouTube to let
County
everyone
Emergency
know.
Operations Center, where they held a news conference just a few hours ago. We begin with the Low Country's chief meteorologist, Rob Fallon. Rob, what is the latest on this storm's path?
Well, the bottom line is it's still moving north at about 9 to 10 miles an hour. The winds are 140. It's still a Category 4. But let me show you the satellite perspective, because you can see it's such a large storm as it continues to move, generally just to the south and southeast of the eastern tip of Cuba right there. Now, there is interesting another feature on the map. That's actually Tropical Storm Nicole. So if you hear about Nicole, don't worry. That's not going to be a player. That's going to move out to sea. This is the only player in the tropics right now, and that is Hurricane Matthew. And you can see the eye of the storm somewhat obscured, but it's there as it moves off to the north at about 9. It looks like it'll make its second landfall, 81st. Then Cuba, then eventually will move through the Bahamas. Second year in a row. Of course, the Bahamas had Joaquin to deal with last year. But let me kind of put a measure on this, and you can see really from the southwest corner to the northeast corner, it's roughly 700 miles, and that's a large storm. Usually the average hurricane is about 300 miles in diameter, so larger than average, and that's why it's got our attention, because as it moves to the north, it's going to impact a lot of folks. Winds are 140 miles an hour, moving north at 9, as we mentioned. Here are the computer models, really in agreement, moving through the Bahamas, and then kind of eventually skirting the coast of Florida, very close to Florida, very close to Georgia, and very close to the South Carolina coast. And some of the models actually bring it onshore, but most keep it right offshore. And with that in mind, the National Hurricane Center official track is following that lead. So you see all the way through Thursday afternoon, moving through the Bahamas with winds of 130 miles an hour. That is a Category 4. That's the bottom level of Category 4, 130 mile per hour winds.
It's like blurry whenever you go far away.
South and east of Jacksonville, Friday afternoon, and with 115 mile per hour winds, that's a Category 3. And then we think sometime between Friday 2 o'clock and Saturday 2 o'clock, in that 24-hour period, it will be just off of the coast of South Carolina. The central coast could be a Category 3 at that time. We'll have to wait and see. So lots of twists and turns still. It's about 1,000 miles away from us, so let's keep that in mind. But we'll continue to keep an eye, and more updates coming your way in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
Rob, thanks. As we told you, Governor Haley ordered evacuations for all coastal communities. The evacuation starts tomorrow.
Donald Trump's son.
Those coastal communities